is Mr. R.P. Singh, who's a spokesperson, national spokesperson of the BJP. We have with us also Parvinder Singh Sethi, who's a political analyst. Advocate Nikhil Jain, political analyst, also joins us on the broadcast. Very interesting, R.P. Singh, that we're looking at the possibility of the Women's Reservation Bill that could be brought up. This is going to be a historic session, but one that may not be very easy. We have seen in the past how opposition parties have opposed certain provisions of the Women's Reservation Bill.
Well, I'm not aware what is in offering, but if it is in offering and if it's being discussed and brought in as a special bill, then India Alliance has to work it together. I mean, because there are parties within India Alliance who are opposing this. And earlier also, when UPA wanted to bring in such bill, it was the now members of the India Alliance that time opposing UPA, they opposed the bill. So let's see. I mean, but I still confine to what has been discussed in the all-party meeting, the bills which have been discussed in the all-party meeting, and the most prominent thing is the 75-year journey of the parliament and the way that democracy has matured from 1947 till now, how things have shaped up, how wars have happened, how key decisions have been taken by the parliament, and how there were turning points in the history of the parliament. So that is the major thrust.
And in fact, the biggest hint was coming in from the Prime Minister himself, because he spoke about women's representation in the parliament, arguing that women's representation has gradually increased over the years. Let's listen in to what the PM had to say in the Lok Sabha earlier today.
प्रारंभ में महिलाओं की सदस्य संख्या कम थी, लेकिन धीरे धीरे माताओं बहनों ने भी इस सदन की गरिमा को बढ़ाया है। इस सदन के गरिमा में बहुत बड़ा बदलाव लाने में उनका योगदान रहा है। इस कालखंड में करीब 600 महिला सांसदों ने भी इस सदन की गरिमा को बढ़ाया है, दोनों सदन की। ये भारत के लोकतंत्र की ताकत है कि 25 साल की उम्र की चंद्रमणि मुर्मू इस सदन की सदस्य बनी थी। सिर्फ 25 साल की उम्र की सबसे छोटी उम्र की सदस्य बनी थी।
Let's take this across to other guests. Advocate Nikhil Jain, will all India Alliance members be on board? We've seen how in the past several political parties who are now part of the India Alliance have strongly opposed the bill, even tearing bill copies on the floor of the House when it was brought up many years earlier.
Madhav, the events that we are discussing about right now, that certain members of the India Alliance at one point of time were not in favor of this bill, that was a different time. 15 years ago, women empowerment wasn't as much as it is today. So I'm sure these parties may have changed their position on that. They may support it. But the bigger question before the nation is indeed the Women Reservation Bill coming? You started it by saying, your sources are saying, by your side is a senior leader of the ruling party, the Bharatiya Janata Party. He's a national spokesperson and he himself doesn't know. And that is how the parliament has been made a mockery of, that let alone opposition members of parliament, even national spokespersons of the ruling party don't know that what bill would be brought on in a 5-day session of the parliament. Is this how the parliament is supposed to function? Is this how the opposition is to hold the government to account?
Nikhil Jain says you're making a mockery of parliament. Please respond to him.
Well, I'm shocked he doesn't know the parliamentary procedure. In the all-party meeting, each and everything was discussed. All bills which has to be brought in the parliament in coming days has been discussed, including which has been discussed today about the 75-year journey. So there's advocate bills, whether that is the Election Commission Services Bill or whether the Postal Bill, everything has been discussed in the all-party meeting. And if anything new has to come again, it will again all-party meeting will call and it will discuss there. I don't understand. I mean, why you are denying what has happened? I mean,
but there is one question, R.P. Singh, which I will ask you. Of the 8 bills that have been brought in, do any of them merit a special session is a question that several opposition leaders are asking. So why have a special session? And if you have, an important special agenda, why not let it be known to the public?
Madhav, don't you think 75-year journey of the parliament and how parliament has helped democracy mature is not important to the nation? If we can discuss, we can have a special session on 50th year of the parliament.
Just a second, I'm just coming to you. We have Navneet Rana, Member of Parliament, independent Member of Parliament, joining us on the phone line. Navneet Rana, your response to this particular news coming in that the government is likely to bring in the Women's Reservation Bill during the course of this special session. As a woman MP and parliamentarian, how do you look at it?
See, first of all, this government of Narendra Modi ji has given a record of 370 new parliament, and this will be the from last 75 years, we almost everybody talk about females. We take their votes, we talk about them, we do every possible thing and using a female name everywhere. But this time, this bill is going to come in the parliament, I said every woman of this India is going to get her right to stand. If she can vote, she should have the reservation also to come to the parliament and stand equally to the other men and talk about her rights. So I think, yes, it will be a very welcoming bill for everybody who's actually represent this house before, without reservation and after reservation also. The females of this country will be very proud of Narendra Modi ji, who's going to bring this bill.
All right. And certainly, of course, are you hopeful that, Navneet Rana, all parties will be on the same page? Because in the past, we have seen several opposition parties, of course, now part of the India Alliance, who have strongly opposed it, even tearing bill copies on the floor of the House. Do you think that there is a possibility that that may be repeated?
Mr. Ji has made everything possible. So this government has got the numbers, but I think we all should request the opposition also to support this bill, because we all ladies of this country are waiting for this bill since so long. So I think when the opposition was there in the government,
right,
that time also the way they used to behave towards females, they were never supportive to females. But I hope this time this bill is going to get passed in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha if this bill is going to come. So every woman will have eye on the parliament that day, and they will be watching, she will be watching, we will be watching how this parliamentarians are supporting our women. It is not only...
Well, the entire nation will be watching, and of course... Absolutely, absolutely. I'd like to thank you so much for joining us, Navneet Rana. You rightly put it. All women will be watching, all citizens will be watching as to how Parliament functions. It's a historical bill if it does get passed this time. Remember, it has been brought to Parliament on multiple occasions. This time round, will it finally see the light of day? It's an important question. I'm going to come back to all our guests. Mr. Parvinder Sethi, please stay with us. We're going to slip into a very quick break, but we'll continue with this discussion. More breaking news, more updates. First on Times Now. Stay with us. Welcome back to our special coverage coming from right outside the Parliament at the Vijay Chowk, and there's big news coming in about the legislative agenda in this special session. There is sources indicating that there is a likelihood that the Women's Reservation Bill could come up during the course of this particular session. Let's take this across. Romesh Sabharwal also joining us on the panel, but let me come to you first, Parvinder Singh Sethi. There is a possibility that the Women's Reservation Bill could come, but why this is very important, politically speaking, is that we have seen how women have voted, particularly in the Hindi belt states, and an overwhelming majority of women have voted for the BJP. So this could potentially, if the bill does get passed, help the BJP when it comes to the elections.
देखिए, पहली बात तो अगर ये बिल आता है तो हम इसका स्वागत करेंगे। इसको बहुत पहले आ जाना चाहिए था, लेकिन देर है दुरुस्त है। अभी तो संभावनाएं हैं, अभी क्या होता है पार्लियामेंट में वो देखा जाएगा। लेकिन सबसे इससे भी जरा ज्यादा जरूरी है महिला सुरक्षा और महिला सशक्तिकरण की एम्पावरमेंट के लिए। अब देखिए ना, एक महिला के 35 टुकड़े कर दिए जाते हैं, एक महिला पे 16 चक्कू मारे जाते हैं, एक महिला को 15 किलोमीटर घसीटा जाता है, और मणिपुर के अंदर महिलाओं के साथ क्या व्यवहार होता है। इसका मतलब ये है कि जो देश का क्रिमिनल है उसको ना तो पुलिस का डर है, ना उनको किसी न्यायालय का डर है। इसलिए पुलिस रिफॉर्म्स की जरूरत है, लॉ रिफॉर्म्स की जरूरत है, और महिला एम्पावरमेंट के लिए काम करने की जरूरत है। हम जितने मर्जी बिल ले आए वो किताबों में पढ़े रहेंगे, उनका आरक्षण जरूर मिल सकता है, चाहे आप उनको टिकट्स दे सकते हैं, जो कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उनकी सुरक्षा बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। और सुरक्षा,
लेकिन कानून को सुधारने के लिए भी तो आपको महिला पार्लियामेंटेरियंस चाहिए। अगर आप महिला पार्लियामेंटेरियंस को लाएंगे नहीं तो इस तरह के नए कानून, सख्त कानून कैसे आएंगे?
देखिए, आजकल का जो पॉलिटिकल सिनेरियो है, चाहे कोई भी राजनीतिक पार्टी है, उसके अंदर पावर 2-3 लोगों के बीच में घूमती है। बाकी लोग डमी होते हैं, उनके हाथ में कुछ नहीं होता। इसलिए मैं ये चाहता हूं कि देश की जो सरकारें हैं वो इस बात की चिंता करें कि देश का गरीब आदमी, देश का मजदूर, देश का किसान, देश का दलित, जो आदिवासी लोग हैं, उनको हम कैसे अपग्रेड करें। हम तरह तरह की स्कीमें लाकर एक राजनीतिक मुद्दा बना देते हैं जी, हमने ये कर दिया, हमने वो कर दिया, लेकिन ग्राउंड रियलिटी क्या है, उसका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन क्या है?
Romesh Sabharwal, do you agree with him? Because he's saying the ground reality, the crime against women, all of that is happening. Criminals are not threatened by the new laws that have been brought in, and also there are requirements of huge police reforms, etc. He says that is more urgent, more pressing than perhaps Women's Reservation Bill, although he has welcomed Women's Reservation Bill itself. Where do you stand on this?
Both are equally important, you know. The Congress party, every time the Women Reservation Bill was basically the initiative taken by Rajiv Gandhi ji. He was instrumental in that. He started that. And that was the vision which Narasimha Rao ji implemented it. In the 33% reservation at the grassroots level of Panchayat, Nagarpalika, which Rajiv ji was very keen to do that. Unfortunately, Rajiv ji died. After Narasimha Rao ji, Manmohan Singh ji also took the initiative. We appreciate it is a high time that this bill should be passed, and the Congress Working Committee also day before yesterday, reiterated that this Women Reservation Bill is the need of the hour. After Manipur incident, it is very essential because the Prime Minister of this country is not going to protect them. They have to come to the Parliament, they have to come to the assemblies, then only the women of India can be protected. That's why this was the vision of Rajiv Gandhi that was started in 87, 88. So we are appreciating if this government is bringing, we will consider.
But what about your allies? We all know what happened in Parliament last time the bill came. It was your allies who are now your allies who tore the bill.
I think that the BJP is in majority. They will sail through this, and this will be definitely Congress will support them on the Women Reservation Bill. So we feel that agar ye pass hota hai, that will be the very good work for which purpose this special session has been called by the BJP government.
But do you fear it may harm you politically?
No, it's not a question of politically. We don't believe in that. Why should we involve religion? Why should we involve caste? Why should we involve gender? It is a question of women empowerment because they are not being secured. They are not secured. That is the reason. We did Nirbhaya Kand. We took the steps. After that, the rapes are going on in our country. Society has to be taught. We have to do the reforms. Women can do more reforms if they come to the power.
Okay, women can do more reforms. I want you to answer, but repeating what Parvinder Singh Sethi said, he says that there are crimes against women happening. There is all that that is going on in society, and that also requires urgent attention. Your response to him?
Well, both are equally important, and then if I don't know if the bill is being introduced, or I mean, this is your news. As per me, I only know the agenda which has been discussed with the leader of the opposition. And if it is there, we should welcome that. I mean, even Congress party wanted to do it. They couldn't do it because of opposition of certain partners who are part of India Alliance today, whether it's Lalu Yadav or Sapa at that time. We are hopeful that they will get them on board, and then if this bill is introduced, they'll support it. But I still say, I mean, let's confine to the agenda which is there today. I mean, agenda which is being discussed, which is the 8 bills, including the 75-year journey of the Indian democracy and Indian Parliament. And I mean, I don't understand why we are belittling the journey of the Parliament. It's such an important event today.
No, surely.
And the way the Parliament has helped our democracy to mature. And then people used to say that, oh, this country will not stay together, this Parliament won't function. We have seen what's happened in Pakistan. And then we, as a mature nation, we, as a mature country, has gone step by step and ensured that the democracy stays, and then government, whichever the government is, government delivers on ground. And that is because of there is an effective parliament and effective opposition also. So we should welcome this rather. I mean, you can discuss whatever you want to. I can't hold you. So neither I'm going to issue a new list by evening that why you were discussing this in the debate. But the subject is, let's understand this 75-year journey is very important, and let me share you personal anecdote.
Quickly.
मुझे याद है मैं इसी पार्लियामेंट के अंदर 1982 मार्च के अंदर पर्चे फेंके, मुझे 7 दिन की जेल स्पीकर साहब ने करी क्योंकि तब इलेक्शन नहीं हो रहे थे दिल्ली के अंदर, और मुझे कहना पड़ा बैरी अन्यथा नहीं लेना चाहिए मेरे दोस्त को, बैरी इंदिरा होश में हो दिल्ली में चुनाव कराओ, and we were sentenced for 7 days by the parliament with my another 21 colleagues. So these are memories of individuals also. So we'll appreciate all this should contribute.
We have a unique panelist. He's been to jail on the instructions of the Speaker, he says, for throwing pamphlets inside the Parliament. Certainly a unique story, RP Singh. In fact, request you all to stay with us. We're going to slip into a quick break. We'll be back with more news on the other side.